Hey there, emo. Let me pull this up. Hey there, Xavier. Alright, I'm gonna check something out. Hello there. Hudley-Ann. Cheddar, what's up, man? Hello, Jonathan, what's up, everybody? How y'all feeling today? Hope y'all feeling good. Let me pull up Sully's video, because I actually do been meaning to touch on this video for a long time, for like a couple per minute now.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
Hello and welcome back.
Okay, there we go. I'll share the screen in a few minutes. Alright. What's up, you guys? What's up? We're back on StreamYard tonight. Yeah, we're back on StreamYard tonight. Anyway, how y'all Saturdays doing? Hope your guys' Saturday is going pretty good. And yes, of course, hello Jack. For those who don't, I'll make a post about this too. Some buddy Jack had made a new YouTube channel called Jack Collins Production. So I'll make a post on that so you guys can go subscribe to him and stuff. And congrats on making 6 years on YouTube. And the newest video dropping this 29th is Doggone Birthday. It's from his archive. Hello there, Eva. How you doing? The Rockfire Explosion's doing a new Michael Jackson tribute. Move my mic over here. I would say yes, and I would say no, because what we have so far, I mean, what we've been having, not what we have so far. What we've been having is okay. I mean, it's alright, it's good. The 84, it's, underrated. It was great, and same thing with the 88 one. I don't think they need to do a Michael Jackson tribute or a new Michael Jackson tribute, because again, there's so many songs in this catalog that they can do, but the tributes that we already have, it's fine, just enough. And emails at jail. Sweet. But anyway, and I feel like if they do that, they're just capitalizing off of Michael's success, just like everybody else is doing off of Michael's success. Okay. So let me get this one out the way, because I've been wanting to kind of do like a little reaction, I guess I can call it that, to Sully's recent video that dropped 2 weeks ago. In case for those who have seen it or have not seen it, Sully dropped the video 2 weeks ago talking about the history of the animatronic voice actors from the Rockfire Explosion. Of course, this is in line with Billy Khan's stuff, along with the Volo event, which of course Sully went to both events, and this video is explaining about the voice actors whatsoever and their histories and stuff like that. So let me just pull this thing up right here, which I didn't expect him to make a video about this one. I thought he was going to talk about his experience at the Volo Art Museum. But this is close enough. So this video but this video really does like good justice. Okay, let me see what is going on.
Hello and welcome.
There we go. Okay, YouTube's tripping. There we go. Alright, and we turn my thing down a bit too. Alright. Let's get to the vid.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sully Info Dumps about animatronics for an unhealthy length of time. Fans of this channel have already heard me yap about the Rockafire explosion for years on end by now. And for those who aren't in the know, what it really boils down to is the Rockafire explosion was an animatronic band in the 1980s in a Chuck E. Cheese style pizza arcade. See how easy that was? I didn't need to make that video 40 minutes. I just chose to do that.
Hey, look at that. That's a great shameless plug that he just did right there for good reasons. Talk about a shameless plug. So I guess after this video, everybody go watch the constant unification video for the 8800th time, because that is a shameless plug and he knows it, and I like that. I'm not mad at him at all.
But in all of my time talking about these beloved animatronics, I have failed to talk about one of the most important aspects of the characters.
I wonder what that could be. Could it be the personalities of these characters? B, how the characters are being built in Manstructure? Or C, talk about the people behind the characters, the voice actors? Manny, you asked me. I hope it's number A, because I really feel like this could be a great video.
Their voices. Yes, like any other animatronic character, there is a whole cast of talented people behind the scenes bringing these characters to life. Programmers, designers, and yes, voice actors.
Hey, I forgot about programmers and designers. But yeah, voice actors are more important than programmers and designers, of course.
Now, these characters have traded hands quite a few times over the years, some more than others, and so I feel it's only fair that we finally give these talented musicians and vocalists the credit they deserve for entertaining us over the past 40 years. The whole reason I'm making this video is because just a few months back in June of 2026, a ton of the original and current voice actors for the Rockafire explosion got together and performed in Volo, Illinois at the Volo Auto Museum to celebrate the debut of the first new Rockafire explosion show tape in over 30 years. And after watching these highly underappreciated musicians perform in the sweltering heat for over 2 hours straight, I knew it was my civic duty as an animatronic nerd to finally shine the spotlight on them. So let's rewind back to the year 1980 and meet the first incarnation of the Rockafire explosion. Now, while the first Showbiz Pizza opened in March of 1980, at the time of that store opening, the Rockafire explosion was not quite ready to make its debut yet. So in their place, an earlier creative engineering show called the Wolfpack 5 was installed in this first store. Just a few months later, in July of the same year, at the opening of the second location of Showbiz Pizza Place, the Rockafire explosion, as we know them today, would make their debut. I think there's a lot to say about the Wolfpack 5, but for simplicity's sake, and because I think they deserve their own video, we're going to skip over the Wolfpack 5 and start right at the modern-day Rockafire explosion. Now,
So, until then, we will be waiting on a great deep dive from Sully about the Wolfpack 5 and probably some other animatronic bands that he might mention.
Rockafire Explosion was unique in that it featured almost a dozen unique animatronics performing across 3 stages that spanned the entire length of a showroom. And what better place to start our story than over on stage right? On stage right, we're introduced to Rolf de Wolf and his puppet sidekick Earl Schmerl, who host the eponymous Rolf and Earl show. Now, Rolf de Wolf is a wolf, go figure, but Earl Schmerl is seemingly a sentient puppet. No, this isn't the case of Rolf de Wolf having a secret ventriloquism skill. Earl is seemingly his own living being trapped inside the body of an animatronic puppet. I don't think I'm qualified enough to speak on such a moral dilemma like this, so we're gonna move on.
Wait, hold on a second. Did he just pull a Five Nights at Freddy's reference?
Trapped inside the body of an animatronic puppet.
Wow, okay. See, I know what he was doing. He just pulled a Five Nights at Freddy's reference. Oh my goodness. I love Sully.
Don't think I'm qualified enough to speak on such a moral dilemma like this, so we're gonna move on. Rolf and Earl's involvement in the Rockafire show tapes, especially in the earlier years, consisted mostly of them doing their own little variety act on the side and very rarely interacting with the rest of the Rockafire characters. You could think of the Rolf and Earl segments as interstitials of sorts. They acted as the comedic relief that also allowed the rest of the band to take a much-needed break. They had skits and performances that would become staples of the early Rockafire Explosion show tapes, such as the iconic Hit the Cymbal routine.
Hey,
If you don't know who Tyvek are, you should. They are the only retailer in the world that conducts their own tire testing.
We're like 3 minutes in. Let's go.
What'd you do that for?
What?
Hit the symbol.
Okay.
No.
Oh my.
And Earl Schmerl, being Rolf's literal right-hand man, was always there to comfort him when his own imposter syndrome got in the way.
You know what you are.
Yeah, I'm a geek.
No, Rolf. You're not a geek.
No?
Nah. You're a screaming geek.
Later on, especially in the Cyberstar era, Rolf and Earl were much more likely to show up in show tapes alongside the rest of the Rockfire Explosion characters, much to some of their dismay.
Okay, let's hear it for the big old fat monkey.
I'll break your neck, Rolf.
But even though they became more and more prominent in show tapes over the years, they were always
Right.
the first choice for the animatronic for Showbiz to remove when they were testing out new concepts.
Oh,
Notable
no.
occasions include the installation of Uncle Clunk, Santa
Yeah,
Claus, and
yeah,
Country Clunk, along
yeah.
with both the Statue of Liberty show and the
Yeah.
Yogi Bear retrofit. I've
Oh,
done
my.
much more comprehensive deep dives on those stages, so if you want to learn more, go check out those rabbit holes. Now, although
Okay.
Rolf and Earl are both their own
Remember, guys, after this video, you should go down and go check those rabbit holes. Wow.
separate entity in the universe of the Rockfire Explosion, both characters were voiced by the same person, co-founder of Showbiz Pizza Place and inventor of the Rockfire Explosion, Aaron Fechter. You'll notice Aaron's name come up a lot when we're talking about the early voice actors, but unlike a lot of the other characters, Rolf and Earl have never switched hands. Since their debut in 1980, Aaron
Right.
has been voicing this talentless
Not sure
wolf and his
saying
snarky puppet sidekick. As someone who grew up wanting to be a puppeteer but wound up being a talentless hack, I really relate to Rolf DeWolf, and I appreciate Aaron allowing that kind of representation to shine on stage. Aaron even voiced an earlier iteration of Rolf DeWolf, aptly named the Wolfman from the aforementioned Wolfpack 5. Again, there's more to unpack there, but we will have to save that for another video. As we move over to center stage,
It's also not to mention too that Aaron also blatantly said the N-word to Earl years ago. And hey, Demonic is here. Happy birthday, man. So yeah, yes, Rolf and Earl being the first boss removed or changed. That's definitely not foreshadowing anything. Definitely not.
I'm going to start off by talking about everyone's favorite surfing polar bear, Beach Bear.
Oh, that's totally out of order, but okay.
Beach Bear can always be found sitting on his signature red and yellow surfboard, perched atop a tree trunk, absolutely having the time of his life. Now, I did say Beach Bear was a polar bear, which is quite obvious based on the color of his fur, but wouldn't you be interested that he originally had
Isn't
a
that
different
that
color
one?
of fur? That's right, the earliest versions of Beach Bear actually had gray fur using the same...
Hold on, was that the one that you posted? Like, I think my end said like 46 minutes ago. Was it that 40-something video that you shared? With the thumbnail with Jasper? If that's the one, I was gonna watch that. I think that's the one.
exact fur they used on the Rolf DeWolf
That's
animatronic.
yeah.
But luckily, these two characters were placed so far
right.
apart in the showroom that nobody would be able to notice that they were reusing that same fur. In the early 80s, his fur was switched over to white, establishing the character as we know it today. Now, in the early days of the Rockfire Explosion, aside from the notable difference in fur color, there was another very drastic difference in the character of Beach Bear.
The hair?
The voice. You
Oh,
see, when the
yeah.
Rockfire Explosion debuted in 1980, Beach Bear was once again voiced by Aaron Fechter.
Oh my, two
God,
for
that
two.
is three characters
Three
he's
characters.
voicing all at once, but luckily, I don't think he's going to be voicing any
I don't hope he don't voice any more characters. Aaron Street for free. Let's hope he's stay on that list.
more. Beach Bear's original voice was much more doofy and dopey sounding, along with his personality being
yeah,
the
after this
definition
one,
of
for sure.
chaotic neutral.
I said I work it off, baby. Work it off. I say you're driving me crazy. Work it off. I wear a little bit of soul.
Like
Now, every time I listen back to that song, every time, I know I'm hearing the band saying "Work It Out," but little old me have a different mind perspective. So every time I hear that song when the band is saying "Work It Out," I'm low-key thinking, I think they're saying "Twerk It Out." Anyway, let's move on.
Like I mentioned earlier, there was a huge concert event held at the Volo Museum in June where they played all of the greatest Rockfire Explosion hits.
Yeah, jerk
and
it
within
out,
those
yeah.
greatest hits, Aaron Fector reprised
too.
his role as Beach Bear for the first time in nearly 45 years. He even remarked at the time that he thought he would never have to do that voice again. I'm sorry, Aaron, the children yearn for Do You Love Me? Now, Aaron...
Okay, I could have sworn Aaron said that, you know, if he didn't know Rick was on board for the reunion concert, and he said if not, he was gonna do a rendition of Do You Love Me, so either that was still like planned it or what. It's really hard to say, but after so many years, Aaron still kind of got that voice of Do You Love Me. And I thought he only said that because like he didn't know Rick was for sure was gonna show up to the concert reunion thing at Volo, but cool. That's great.
Aaron told a fascinating story at the Volo show about the character of Beach Bear that I had never heard before. In around 1982, Aaron was recording vocal tracks for a new Rockfire show tape and was having trouble figuring out how a specific song was going to be performed. So he very nonchalantly asked the employee behind the soundboard how he thought it should sound. And wouldn't you know it, this employee by the name of Rick Bailey
Made it hurt of
stood
him.
up and belted out a flawless performance of the song. To which Aaron responded, "You can sing. Why didn't you tell me you could sing?" Aaron excitedly called in the rest of the band to show this new talent he discovered, and just moments after belting out a show-stopping performance, this is how Rick Bailey chose to show off his talents to the band members.
Feelings. Nothing more than feelings.
Honestly, no notes. The rest of the band was unamused and left the room to get back to work, but Aaron knew that he found something special. And so, after just hearing him sing for the first time, Aaron Fector decided to bestow upon Rick Bailey the role of a lifetime, a role that he would be remembered for decades later. Rick Bailey was given the role of the Moon. Yes, that's right. What better use for Rick Bailey's insane talents than to have him sing as an anthropomorphic moon for 22 seconds? All jokes aside, Aaron did see that Rick was perfect for the role of Beach Bear, and so following his performance as the Moon in the Abbey Road show tape, the character of Beach Bear was formally handed off to Rick Bailey. And honestly, inspired casting
Yes,
choice.
he is the
Beach
best
Bear went from a
character.
dopey-sounding bear to a smooth-talking, velvety-voiced icon in mere seconds.
Well, you should see Pauline Brown. She's so good looking, but she looks like a man.
How much longer would you be mine? Hey, I heard it to the grapevine.
To this day, we still got people being horny over Beach Bear for whatever reason, and you know what? For them, they need to seek some help because I get it. Rick got a great voice for Beach Bear, but god damn, I don't think we need to get that horny over. You know what? Moving on.
Seriously, the vocal range of Rick Bailey in this role is unmatched. Rick Bailey has been voicing Beach Bear for over 44 years now, with the character never switching hands again after his official assumption of the role. I know it sounds weird to essentially say this about an animatronic band, but we may not be worthy of the talent he brings to the table. Seeing him perform live at Volo and have the entire audience in the palm of his hand was something to behold, and to quote a very enthusiastic polar bear, just makes you want to go,
That's fun. God damn it, Ed.
You. Just
Me.
you.
Just
Building
me.
your app
Oh yeah.
on base 44.
Anyway.
Now, a quick tangent before we get into the rest of the characters. Since I've been traveling a lot for this channel...
Wait. This is a word from our sponsors. Let's just get the sponsors. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's talk about everybody's favorite cheerleader mouse that everybody else goes crazy. Did you just say the magic word? It's... Oh, goddamn, what the fuck I just... Okay, anyway.
Info dump. Mitzi Mozzarella is the resident mouse cheerleader of the Rockfire Explosion. Because the inclusion of a cheerleader is the mark of any good band, right? Now, the
Right.
history of Mitzi is interesting because she is an evolution of a character from the Wolfpack 5, who herself is an evolution from within her own timeline. The Wolfpack 5 originally had a female vocalist named Queenie, and while we're giving credit to the voice actors, huge shout out to Queenie's voice actress Denise Cahill, who only voiced her for a single show but left such a mark.
Foxy was my boyfriend, so slick, so
That was a big
shot, so
confusion.
cool.
When the decision was made to temporarily install the Wolfpack 5 in the first Showbiz Pizza location, the executives requested that Queenie be transformed into a mouse. Now, could this possibly be because they wanted to overshadow the mouse character of their competitor?
No, that can't be. Just because they got a large piece of rat across the street doesn't mean anything. I don't think so.
Who's to say? Yes, of course, that's why they did it. And
Plus, also to that Disney outside of mouse as well.
thus, Minnie Mozzarella was born. Minnie? Yes,
Oh.
Minnie Mozzarella, voiced by Brenda Gretchel, joined the Wolfpack 5 for a
I like how the voice actors were like for Minnie. No, it wasn't Minnie. It was Queenie. Someone said it was B.J. Wharf, which I think Aaron also mentioned about B.J. Wharf too. So yeah, I think when it comes to like Queenie and Minnie voice actors, they're very confusing. So who's to say who is the real voice actor? Because some say it was B.J. Wharf who did Queenie for the first two Wolfpack 5 show tapes. Now this other voice actor too, and then some said it was Aaron that did Minnie voice. So at this point, it's very confusing. But we're just gonna go with the video here.
very short period of time. And while she looked very different than what we're used to, she essentially laid the groundwork for the character that we know and love today.
Mickey was my boyfriend, so slick, so sharp, so cool.
Now you think about it, that does sound like Missy's high-pitched voice when she sung this back in like 1982. Now, could it be the fact that they just reused this audio in that particular show tape in 1982? Who's to say? But you just hear it closely enough, you can kind of hear the resemblance.
And so, just a few months later, a new character was born, and that character was Mitzi Mozzarella. Now,
Whoa.
based on every
Sound like
other
you,
character
buddy, huh?
we have talked about so far, I want you to take a guess on who was the first person to voice Mitzi Mozzarella.
Okay, guys. Alright, you heard Sully. We gotta guess who voiced Minnie Mozzarella or Missy Mozzarella. So here are the choices here. Was it A, Aaron Fector, B, Salisa Stallone, or C, Donkey Kong? Put your answers down below. Who voiced Missy first? Was it Aaron, Salisha, or was it Donkey Kong? I'd love to hear you guys' answers. Oh yeah, it was obvious, Donkey Kong. What? Me? I was the first voice actor? Stop. Gotta release a Netflix documentary on this one, man. Anybody else? Aaron with the lollipop. Hey, yo. Oh my. Okay. That. Woo. Okay, let's find out.
Now, be forewarned, the answer is not your first. Of course it was. It was Aaron Fector. Yes, Aaron Fector was the first
the
one to voice
lollipop.
Mitzi, and it was a choice.
My boy lollipop,
Hey, it's the song.
you make my heart go giddy up.
As you can hear, they digitally pitched up his voice for all these show tapes, making him sound much more like a chipmunk than a mouse. And it may be just me, but these few show tapes that have Aaron Fector voicing Mitzi hold a special place in my heart. Sure, they
Oh
might
my.
not be as good as the later voice actresses, but there's just something so charming about the inventor of an animatronic band voicing every single character at the same time. So to mark the end of the reign of Aaron Fector as Mitzi Mozzarella, please enjoy this rendition of Here Comes Santa Claus, which was hastily removed from
Yep.
all Showbiz Pizza locations due to what some guests complained was a random obscenity thrown in.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Okay, so he did make a correction in the description in the video. This wasn't Aaron Fector's voice. This was Monique Danielle's voice. And of course, everybody knows the story about this for Christmas. Why this got, why this is a very controversial segment, Rockafire segment. Because as Aaron explained it, when Monique was recording for Missy, she had a big pouty voice. And of course, there's the part where the snares of the drums was mixed together with her vocals, and apparently,
Here comes Santa Claus, walking down Santa Claus Lane.
yeah, there's the line. So basically, Bob Rock thought that Misty was saying fucking, but no, she was saying walking. But of course, it got taken out. The record got taken out of Showbiz stores, and they were burnt down. And of course, back in like 1985 with the Magic Stage Show tape, Missy's part gets completely edited out because Bob Rock thought that the folks at Creative Engineering was saying something pouty. And so you think Missy is saying fucking, she's not saying fucking, she is walking down Santa Claus Lane. But then again, hey, look, that's a story for a whole nother day. So, hey.
Since the dawn of mankind, humans have had one obsession.
Okay, so I absolutely know he or she is saying walking, but my brain fails to accept that, and so I choose to live in a reality where Santa Claus is doing unspeakable things down Santa Claus Lane.
Yeah, he's doing that with Mrs. Claus, but you know what? It's okay.
I mean, it's his lane. Who am I to stop him? The next person to voice Mitzi Mozzarella was Monique Danielle, who voiced her for a whopping 1 show tape. Although, to be fair, she sang on Sal's Birthday, which is one of the most iconic Rockfire Explosion show tapes. So if she was going to choose 1 show to sing on, she chose the best possible option.
And having a birthday party is a lot of fun. Lot of fun.
At the time, Showbiz was looking to hire a child actress to voice Mitzi so that younger patrons of Showbiz Pizza Place would have a character they could relate to. And amongst a sea of children auditioning for the role, the first person to walk through the doors was 11-year-old Shalisa James. Accompanied by her father on piano, Shalisa auditioned with the song Tomorrow from Annie, something she recounted at the Volo show in June, and even treated the audience to a live rendition of it over 40 years later.
She still got it.
So needless to say, with a voice like that, Shalisa was immediately given the job, because of course she was. And so now, at just 11 years old, she had to somehow hold her own in a room of professional musicians. And somehow, she did just that. Whether she was singing I Want to Be Free by the Monkees or Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics, her voice stood out in such a wonderful way. And yes, Shalisa and the Rockfire Explosion did perform Talking in Your Sleep 40 years before the Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out. And based on their performance of the song at Volo, they still got it. Now, a fun fact I love to tell people is that Mitzi Mozzarella is the only character of the Rockfire Explosion to have a canonical age. Since Showbiz was hoping to create a character that children could relate to, it was decided very early on that Mitzi Mozzarella would assume the age of Shalisa. This meant that every year Shalisa grew older, so did Mitzi Mozzarella. Mitzi Mozzarella is now canonically 56 years old, and Shalisa James has been lending her amazing vocal talents to the iconic mouse for over 45 years.
This goes back off from last night's stream. So basically, yes, Shalisa is the only character. Missy is the only character that has a age. So how does that work? I really don't know. But let's just say that Missy is now 56 years old and the band is frozen in time. Oh my goodness.
And I'd be remiss not to mention that Shalisa has disclosed that she's been battling stage 4 cancer over the past few years. She revealed to the Volo audience that back in 2022, her doctors told her she had 3 years to live and would never perform again. But in the year 2026, Shalisa is still with us and still graciously sharing her incredible talent with us day after
you're
day.
late.
She wrote a book called 3 Years Left, and I genuinely hope that everyone watching this can go out, buy the book, and support Shalisa in every way possible. I think now is a great time to talk about the frontman of the Rockfire Explosion, the gorilla glue that holds the band together, Mr. Fats Geronimo. You'll probably remember Fats from your childhood for his terrifying appearance paired with some remarkably gifted musical skills that he made sure to show off by playing his magical tune machine.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the keyboard of the future, the Tune Machine. Now, if y'all gonna sound like a Wheel of Fortune audience, let's at least get it right.
Now, Fats, like many other Rockfire Explosion characters, originated in the Wolfpack 5, but I would argue that of all the characters that were carried over to the Rockfire Explosion, he was the one that was changed the least. Even back in the Wolfpack days, Fats could be seen sporting his iconic golden tux and rocking out on an admittedly much more rudimentary piano. Sorry, they hadn't developed the tune machine technology in 1978. And additionally, he even had the same voice actor for that entire era, that being the incredibly talented Bert Wilson, or Sal as he's known to his friends. Remember the iconic show tape I mentioned a few minutes ago, Sal's Birthday? Well, the reason it was called that is because it was written by Bert Sal Wilson. And there's an extra layer of specialness to the song when you realize the emotional impact it had on Aaron Fector at the time.
And that was actually one we called Sal's Birthday because the greatest musician I ever worked with, who we called Sal back in those days, wrote that. And a very touching song about a it's making me cry because I miss Sal.
I remember as a young kid, like when I was watching this documentary on YouTube when Aaron was breaking down and crying, saying that he missed Sal. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Sal passed away and that's why he missed him. But come to find out, it was totally different. And now every time I think about this clip or I hear about that clip or this clip, I now think about this lately. It's like, that really shows how years later we finally learned that Sal passed away. And I didn't think that was going to happen anytime soon. Of course, he had health problems and difficultness. But now when I think about this clip now, it's like, dang, this back in like 2009. Like, yeah, 2009. And now Sal passed away years ago. And it's just like, it's hard. It's really hard.
Sal was actually instrumental in the writing of a lot of the early Rockfire Explosion shows during the Showbiz Pizza era and was also a very gifted musician and vocalist himself. There's also this iconic photo of Sal, Fats, and Michael Jackson, which
oh, yes, 3 goats. Thank you, 2008. Thanks. 3 goats in one photo.
Has nothing to do with this story, but I feel like I have to show it. Sal would continue to voice Fats through the Showbiz Pizza era into the early 2000s, but for reasons we're not privy to, Aaron and Sal eventually had a falling out, leading to Fats being without a performer for the first time in nearly 30 years. But if there's one thing we've learned in this video, it's that every Rockfire Explosion character can be played by none other than Aaron Fector. Yes, Aaron is 5 for 5 in voicing Rockfire characters. Somebody stop this man.
Yes, he is right. Michael Zalsey, Fats, and Sal in the same photo? Wow. Yeah, I just wish you got footage of that one.
So Aaron's portrayal of Fats was very reminiscent of, and clearly his best imitation of, the character that Sal had so expertly crafted over the past decades. And since these new appearances were minimal, save for a few voice lines in a one-off YouTube video, I'm sure this voice change went unnoticed by a lot of casual viewers.
Well, we got Mitzi about to sing a song about Shakira, little Latin lady whose hips do not lie. Yeah.
And it really seemed like Aaron would continue to voice that role indefinitely and that we would never see the return of Sal to the role of Fats Geronimo. But I love it when I'm proven wrong. In 2019, Aaron and Sal reunited at Creative Engineering's old stomping grounds in Orlando.
So this was a little edit right here. And, yeah, this little edit that he made. Because I've never seen this as like a channel members video first. So he mentioned that Victoria, the one sitting next to Sal, was his daughter. Which isn't true, and of course Victoria, she made a whole explanation video on her channel. She commented too on Sully's video, which again, this is just a little edit spot. So this was actually a premium subscription video, but this was done back in like 2019. So this was a premium subscription video on Aaron's premium channel. That for those who have premium would know about this whole video and stuff. So of course, after Sal passed away, Aaron finally decided to release this whole video, a little part series explaining about, you know, their time at Creative Engineering, how Rick got on, of course, this story about them writing different songs, and of course, that a lot of people don't know is how Showbiz almost tried to get Sal to voice Munch too. So it's a great series on Aaron's channel if anyone want to look at it. And it's just them two talking and stuff about memories and all.
I don't think anyone expected this to lead to Sal returning as Fats. I mean, I certainly didn't, but it was just so nice to see two old friends put aside their differences and get back together. I mean, seeing Aaron and Sal together after all this time, it just felt right. But then randomly, in May of 2021, with zero warning, the Rock-afire Explosion dropped a cover of the Mystery Science Theater 3000 theme song, and Fats' voice sounded a little familiar.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. The shooter who murdered my sweet little Daniel brought a highly lethal weapon with him.
Oh, no.
Now keep in mind that Jonah can't control where the movie begins or ends. You have to keep his sanity with the help of his robot friend.
Yes, this was the first time in nearly 20 years that the entire original Rock-afire Explosion cast got together for a new show tape. And unfortunately, it would be the last. On December 28th, 2023, Bert Wilson passed away at the age of 68, and I truly think that the world became a slightly darker place when he left. But I am incredibly grateful for the decades of work that he poured into the Rock-afire Explosion, and I think it's safe to say that without Sal's involvement, the Rock-afire Explosion as we know it would not exist today. While the animatronic community mourned the loss of such a talented musician, an important question was raised. What happens to Fats? The easiest option would be to have Aaron take over the role permanently like he did many years prior, but instead, for the first time since the conception of the band, a new member was about to be brought into the fold. Fats was now to be voiced by singer, songwriter, producer, and Grammy winner Shooter Jennings. Being the son of both Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter, he clearly had the musical background to play alongside the greats, but he had some big shoes to fill. The new Volo Museum show tape that was unveiled just a few months ago served as the public debut of Shooter Jennings taking on the role of Fats Geronimo, and here's what it sounds like.
Mustang Sally. Yeah. I guess you better slow your Mustang down. You know you heard what I said.
You know, I started getting used to more hearing that Shooter Jennings voice of Fats, even though to some this may be new to them, or at the time was new during the Volo Museum debut show tape, and then some might have heard it during that holiday thing, which I'll get to a little bit once around we get to Duke. But Shooter been in contact with Aaron for years now, and I know there was 2 YouTube videos. One of them is Shooter was playing alongside with Fats, and I think that's when Aaron confirmed that he was going to be the new voice actor for Fats. And there was actually a programming song of Fats doing a song from Shooter Jennings, though I could be wrong at the same time about at the time of that recording that Aaron confirmed that Shooter was the new voice of Fats. But then again, I had to look back at the video to be sure, because I know that's something been in the planning for quite some time now. So this wasn't like a random choice. I know, like I said, I know Shooter and Aaron, they go like way back and stuff, but I like Shooter's voice as Fats.
And can I just say, I'm actually relieved that we don't have someone trying their best to sound exactly like Sal. Sal was a once-in-a-generation talent. Sure, you could hire a sound-alike voice actor to do their best impersonation of Sal, but at that point, you're truly trying to replace Sal rather than have someone carry on the legacy of his character. I wasn't sure what I was going to think about a new voice coming out of Fats' mouth, but from the little bit we've heard at the Volo show, I'm actually very excited to see what this interpretation of the character brings. It feels new, fresh, and it comes from someone who has such a deep love and respect for these characters. So I'm very excited to see what Shooter does with the character moving forward, and I'm so happy that someone is carrying on the legacy of Sal. Speaking of Sal's character, I guess I can quickly touch on the fact that he also voiced nearly every prop character on the stage. We already talked about the moon being voiced by Rick Bailey prior to his casting as Beach Bear, but after that show tape, the role was then given to Sal. And as if he didn't already have his hands full, they also gave him the role of the Sun. Talk about a split personality. Luckily, like I said, these are prop characters and they very rarely have any dialogue in show tapes. But when they do, my God, I would have never known it was the same voice actor as Fats.
Beach Bear, I believe you need to have that guitar tuned up. I quite agree, and I'm sure we'll all be thrown in jail for defacing that monumental song by Frank Sinatra.
Along with The Sun and the Moon, Sal also voiced Fats' pet spider Antioch, and I put the word voiced in air quotes because this is what Antioch's voice sounded like whenever he spoke.
Okay, well, I know. No, I can't play it anymore, Antioch. My fingers are tired. No.
So yeah, not so much speaking as it was garbled nonsense that only Fats could understand. Hell, I'm sure if they ever gave Choo Choo a speaking role, Sal would have been given that character too. So anyway, that brings Sal up to a whopping 4 characters being played simultaneously. That's nearly as many as Aaron. What range? The final character featured on center stage is none other than everyone's favorite drumming hound from outer space, question mark. It's Duke LaRue. Before his iconic spacesuit, he actually wore a plaid shirt and looked way too normal to be a part of the band, in my opinion. So that spacesuit, what an upgrade. Duke was the only character of the Rockfire Explosion to be named after his voice actor, that being musician Duke Chipetta. I think both Duke the voice actor and Duke the character had the most iconic voice of the Rockfire Explosion. His sound was just so unique and seemed to fit with every genre they threw at him. I think he's most famously known within the Rockfire fandom for his rendition of Heartaches, which is just a much happier version of It's Just a Burning Memory. Duke Chipetta would continue to voice the character throughout the Showbiz Pizza era and then intermittently throughout the 1990s after the band was evicted from Showbiz Pizza Place. But during the early 2000s era of the Rockfire Explosion, when Duke Chipetta wasn't providing the voice, nobody stepped in to take over the character. I'm not sure if it was felt that the character was too special or if Aaron thought it would be too hard to find someone of the vocal caliber to replace Duke, and so for whatever reason, the character went silent for many years.
He just like Ralph the Dog, ladies and gentlemen. He's so special to this one person, they just go MIA and quiet as a background character. But it doesn't, this is kind of different from how Jasper was recast, and I know that kind of swept under the rug easily so quickly, is that, we found somebody that sounds just alike Jeremy's Jasper, and hey, I guess we're all cool with it. But with Duke, it's like, yes, he's so special because Duke is Duke. He was the heart of the Rockfire Explosion. He has so many great memorable songs and songwriting too, but it's a shame that the path that Duke chose, which again is understandable, but the path that Duke chose instead of voicing an iconic character is totally different. But nowadays he's something else. I need to make this. Yes.
But in 2016, Duke would return in the unlikeliest of places. A realtor in Indiana had written a new jingle and wanted the Rockfire Explosion to be the band to sing it. So Aaron Fector obliged, got most of the original Rockfire Explosion together, including the elusive Duke Chipetta. Now, I don't know just how much of this is tongue-in-cheek, but in the video description, Aaron states that one of the issues with Duke Chipetta was that he didn't have a computer, and so in order to get his vocals, he had to physically mail a digital recorder to him to get his vocal tracks. But by God, it worked, and we finally got to hear that iconic voice for the first time in nearly a decade.
Do you want to know why Adam is so cool?
Ooh, I know. It's because he always answers his phone.
I think he's handsome.
Oh, it's definitely because he will not make you sign papers you do not understand.
Sure, it wasn't much, but I'll take anything at this point. As you might have noticed, that was Aaron voicing Fats in that clip, and much like Fats, the final performance of Duke as Duke would come in the 2021 Mystery Science Theater 3000 show tape.
Just repeat to yourself, it's just a show.
You should really just relax.
In the following years, Duke Chipetta has decided that he no longer wishes to voice the character of Duke LaRue, and that is absolutely a decision he is allowed to make. He gave his all to this character for decades and provided us with so much entertainment, so all I can say is thank you for your service. So once again, so close to the loss of the iconic Burt Sal Wilson, the Rockfire Explosion was left with yet another character with no voice. And like I said, Duke's voice was so iconic that it was going to be extremely difficult to find a worthy successor, and equally as difficult to get the fan base to accept the new voice actor. Enter Brandon Shepard, longtime Rockfire Explosion fan and talented musician in his own right. While we had heard Brandon's singing voice back when he was announced as Duke's new voice actor, we had never really heard him sing as Duke until the Volo show. And I think my past video...
That is true. And then you also had the holiday thing that he came up with, so not a lot of people are still convinced on.
On this channel prove that I am more than open to changing voice actors for characters over time, so I was never going to be one to say, that's not my Duke. I welcomed Brandon with open arms. But I knew that there were going to be a lot of naysayers that he would have to win over. And at the Volo concert, the very first song he sang as Duke was his most iconic song, Heartaches. I feel like this was such a make or break moment because this song comes out hard and fast with a vocal riff that is ingrained in every Rockafire Explosion fan's head.
Here we go again.
So I was just saying to myself, all he has to do is nail Heartaches.
Deshaun, I know you're not texting the group chat right now. Excuse me, folks, give me 1 second. I ain't on the speaker. Deshaun.
Hey, why the kitchen door left open? You gotta go back outside? Okay, I'm gonna close it.
Alright. Deshaun?
Yes, this is, him.
What? Why did you text the group chat?
I was trying to share an update. I should have just waited after the stream.
Yeah, you should have waited after the stream.
Yeah, my bad.
Now you know what's gonna happen, Deshaun, now that you're texting the stream.
Torture?
Yep.
Oh well, let's play the Rugrats. Yeah.
No, Deshaun. We're not gonna play that.
My boy Lollipop?
Oh, no, Deshaun. We're not gonna play Aaron Fector with...
A whole new wild?
Oh, no, Deshaun. We're gonna play the Forbidden Show.
You don't mean?
Yep.
Not those bears.
Oh, we're gonna play those bears.
Not them.
Oh, yeah.
Programming.
Well, Deshaun, this is what happened. What I told you, you need to stop texting the group chat. We're not streaming. I don't know. Ain't no bust, Deshaun. You know the rules.
This ain't an update, man.
No. You could just wait till after the stream was over. You can share your little updates and stuff.
No.
So after Sully's video is over with, we'll play Punishment.
Alright.
Now I better not see you texting again on the stream, but if so, I'll get my belt and I'll have to whip you.
The belt?
Yes, the belt.
Alright.
Okay. Oh, wait, I almost forgot one more thing. You're also grounded.
Oh, come on.
Alright, sorry about that. Where were we? Oh, right. Back to Sully's video.
And boy, did he.
We'll see. Starts like this. Here we go again.
I think it was in that moment that everyone watching breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that the character of Duke LaRue was in more than capable hands. I actually asked Brandon what it was like taking over such an iconic character and how he dealt with the idea that the fan base might not accept his rendition.
Duke is such a legendary character, and to be able to be a part of the history of everything was just a blessing. My challenge was when I was first doing this, because Aaron was wanting a little bit more of an Elvis type of vibe. We liked it, he liked it, which that's the reason I got the role. After I became Duke, he heard a little bit more of my natural voice. So now it's kind of like a mixture of both. I went really hard into that Elvis sound.
Well, you may think I'm foolish for the foolish things I do.
And then like something like Little Old Lady from Pasadena, I brought it back just a hair, just so it blended in with the song.
Everyone keeps asking me how I do my podcast alone. The answer, Riverside.
Every time a character is recast, there's always backlash. I didn't want to say I didn't care, because I mean, of course I do care. The fans, they're fans like I am. And when I first became Duke, I didn't like it. I was like, this ain't Duke. And of course you got comments like, this guy, he does not sound like Duke, or I get to a better Duke than that. But then there's way more people on there that started to come on and it's like, hey, I think this dude's going to be great. People that were seeing the potential. And then the more I got adjusted to hearing my voice through Duke, it just took some time. And it's actually like the way Sully's video is about Matt Vogel. People have just not heard Matt Vogel's Kermit enough. True. And I'm gonna tell you, Matt Vogel is a good Kermit.
He just took that so serious and no, and that's my approval. Yes, Matt Vogel is a great Kermit. I gotta interview this guy. I gotta reach out to him. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I need to reach out to Brandon and stuff, but he got my approval. So you heard that right here, folks. Matt Vogel is a great Kermit. Brandon approves of it. And I like his surfboard. I mean, his skateboard. I call it a surfboard. I like his skateboard. That is a nice skateboard in the background.
Huge thanks to Brandon for that video. Be sure to go check out his YouTube channel. Tell him I sent you. We now find ourselves over on stage left, which houses the mascot of Showbiz Pizza Place. The mascot that may have done questionable things.
Did he dig the birthday boy? Oh my God, he's fruity.
To the birthday boy. The man, the bear, the legend, Billy Bob Broccoli. Billy Bob was the resident country bear of the Rockfire explosion. A country bear, not that country bear, because God forbid Disney copyright strike this video.
Oh no, Disney took down the video.
You could find Billy Bob manning the pumps over at Smitty's Super Service Station, providing all customers with their signature Goofy Gas gasoline. Because what better place to sell gasoline than in a children's pizza parlor?
Okay, watch this clip, y'all. You know how the world's energy crisis is everything and all? We don't look at this same skit ever again.
Things gets kinda quiet here at Smitty's Super Service Station sometimes. What with the gas situation the way it is and all, we've had to stop selling gasoline altogether. Once it got past 25 cents a gallon, I didn't have no more friends what could afford it nohow.
Billy Bob.
So you mean to tell me that Billy Bob foreshadowed the prices of gas in this day and age? Oh hell no, we gotta get roast beef sandwich canceled, because ain't no way that they wrote that in the script and knowing that years later gas prices is going up crazy. Billy Bob got to be canceled on so many levels.
Was a character that dates back all the way to 1979, when an earlier incarnation of the character, then named Billy Wilbur, appeared in another creative engineering show called The Hard Luck Bears. Again, I don't really want to dive too deep into this because I truly believe that this show deserves its own video, much like the Wolfpack 5. But
don't worry, Deshaun. I think we're going to get that on video now.
With a new name and a fresh set of striped overalls, Billy Bob took the world by storm, becoming the entire face of the show.
Look at him getting jiggy with it.
Showbiz Pizza Place brand. Which makes it even wilder that Showbiz decided to trash the entire Rockfire explosion since they had built such a strong brand identity, but that's an entirely different story. Billy Bob, like almost every other character at one point in time, was voiced by Aaron Fector, bringing his own southern charm to the bear. And like all the rest of his characters, Aaron still provides the voice of Billy Bob to this day, with the character never changing hands ever since he debuted. Although, Aaron did make a very interesting announcement at the Volo show in June. Billy Bob will be voiced by a new face named Matt Cam, who goes by the stage name Telly. But don't you worry, Aaron clarified that the plan is only to have Telly take over the character once Aaron is physically no longer able to perform or is no longer with us. So we still have plenty of time to enjoy and cherish Aaron's performance as Billy Bob, but based on what we saw at the Volo show, I am confident that Billy Bob is in great hands with Telly. And last but not least, what's the word? Looney Bird.
Our Techner Bird.
Everyone's favorite alcoholic bird could be found guzzling an unhealthy amount of goofy gas submerged in his blue oil drum next to his friend Billy Bob. And I have always had a soft spot in my heart for Looney Bird. I mean, how can you not be charmed by his silky smooth voice? Much like the duo that is Rolf and Earl over on stage right, Aaron Fechter provides the voice of the stage left duo by lending his voice to both Billy Bob and Looney Bird. Also, this has zero relevance to the narrative I'm telling here and might get this video copyright claimed, but I just have to show off this video of Looney Bird singing Forget You by CeeLo Green.
If I was richer, I'd still be with her. That's just some shit.
Looney Bird, no.
We truly don't deserve you, Looney Bird. Now, it was never outright said whether Telly would also be taking over the role of Looney Bird once he assumed the role of Billy Bob, but based on a single line he spoke as Looney Bird at the Volo show, I don't think we have to worry about the fate of our favorite bird.
Well, wait a minute. You know what that car needs?
What's that, Billy Bob?
Perfect, no notes. And there you have it, a complete history on all of the voice actors behind the Rockfire explosion. The video's over now, you can go home. Because if there's one thing I know about corporate America, it's that corporations respect artistic integrity and would never do anything to desecrate a beloved character.
Right?
Right? Okay, so I guess I might have left out an important part of this story. That is that there is an entire alternate lineup of Rockfire Explosion voice actors that we have not talked about yet today. So I guess now is as good a time as ever to introduce you to the concept of corporate show tapes. When Showbiz Pizza Place and Pizza Time Theater merged in 1985, it wasn't very long before the corporate heads at the newly formed Showbiz Pizza Time Incorporated started experimenting with creating content in-house. In other words, they weren't interested in paying creative engineering to write and perform more show tapes for them, and so they were going to go the much cheaper route of hiring sound-alike voice actors and writing their own material. And the outcome is just about as you would expect it to be. Everything that made a character unique was essentially boiled down and flanderized to the point that the character before you was just a husk of what they were when they were created. Showbiz hoped that people wouldn't notice, and to be quite honest, the average family member probably didn't. As of 2026, the information we have about the character's voice actors is very sparse, so get on your tinfoil hats because we're about to enter the speculation zone. No, but seriously, a lot of this information is unconfirmed, so just know that while I'm trying to do my best to summarize the details, there is a lot of conflicting information and very little documentation from this era. I was, however, able to get into contact with then Director of Entertainment Paul Linden, who was able to clarify a few points. Paul Linden worked on the very first in-house Rockfire Explosion show tape, working alongside Morgan Cabot of Steppenwolf to record this show tape at Blue Dolphin Studios in Los Angeles, California. Morgan Cabot unfortunately passed away in 2004, so we have no surviving documentation about his time working with Showbiz Pizza. And then Gene Ballard of Creative Presentations actually produced the music for at least the corporate Statue of Liberty show tape, along with the character retrofit itself. Now, with that little bit of information out of the way, let's start with what we do know. Welcome back to Showbiz Pizza Place, where we find ourselves back on stage right, just as we were 25 minutes ago. According to Paul Linden, both Rolf and Earl were both voiced by then Showbiz Pizza Time programmer Joe Conti, which means Joe Conti is the man behind the iconic show tape where Rolf and Earl narrate their own removal during concept unification, which, though incredibly morbid, is a very interesting piece of history. His name comes up in some internal documents showing that he was a Cyberamics programmer at one time, which truly means that Showbiz Pizza took someone they already had on the payroll and made them record voice lines for likely no additional pay. Which, yeah, that is cheaper, I'll give him that much. I guess when it comes down to it, his Rolf de Wolf impression isn't terrible, and it's arguably probably one of the better of the bunch, which isn't saying much because the whole recasting was just shamelessly ripping off the characters that creative engineering established. So here is Aaron Fechter's Rolf and Earl compared with Joe Conti's rendition.
Oh yeah, this cute little guy here is Earl Schmerl. Yeah,
And this stupid-looking guy here is Ralph the Wolf.
Work is good for you, little Earl.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it builds character. Take me, for instance.
You're a character, all right.
Unfortunately, Paul Linden did reveal to me that shortly after Joe Conti left the company to pursue an acting career, he tragically took his own life, which is devastating that he isn't around to witness the renaissance of animatronics in our modern day and see how much people appreciate both his programming and his voice acting in all of these shows. But I'm so glad that despite Joe Conti no longer being with us, his work continues to live on. Now, Billy Bob Broccoli is an interesting case because this character had two different voice actors during this corporate takeover era of the Rockfire explosion. By all accounts, the person to voice Billy Bob in the 1986 History of Rock and Roll demo was none other than Bob West. You might know him from his work at Chuck E. Cheese as both Jasper T. Jowls and Pasquale P. Pieplate, or possibly from your childhood as the voice of Barney the Dinosaur.
Yes, of course. Everybody knows him as Barney the Dinosaur. It's obvious. It was the real childhood, not Jasper or Pasquale, but Barney. Go figure.
Which I guess means
he did Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, he did Chuck E. Cheese first before Barney, but it's okay.
That Barney is canonically part of the Rockfire explosion, but I digress.
Hey, hold on a second. That's foreshadowing, actually, because if you think about it, if you low-key think about it, he is part of the little ensemble pizza chain. So, you think about it. You low-key did think about it. Because, you know, like, how Chuck E. Cheese be sponsor like PBS, and, like, you know, what was on PBS at the time, which was Barney. And not only Bob West voiced Barney, but Duncan Brandon also voiced Barney. So, the connection was, like, right there this whole time. So, low-key, let's low-key think about this here. It's a foreshadow, you know. He did Chuck E. Cheese first back in like 1986. Then he did Barney, you know, a year or two after. And it's like, it's crazy. The circle's coming full. Shout out to Bob. If Bob didn't take the audition for Barney the Dinosaur, we wouldn't have the sponsorship for PBS Kids. That's crazy. So Bob deserved his flowers for being the first guy to, you know, do that. And the sponsorship and stuff, it's crazy. And, you know, it was obvious because Duncan, you know, auditioned for Barney too, and that's where the sponsorship comes in. But no, Bob did it first. Screw you, Duncan.
Now, after the History of Rock and Roll demo, accounts of his involvement vary. Some claim that he only worked on that singular demo, while others claim he voiced Billy Bob for the entire corporate era. I reached out to Bob West, and he very kindly confirmed that he did, in fact, only voice Billy Bob on the History of Rock and Roll demo tape before the character was passed on to a different voice actor. Now, who is that mysterious second voice actor? Unfortunately, nobody knows at this point. But we do at least have plenty of footage to hear what his rendition of Billy Bob sounded like.
Well, great. Here, let's call the guys out here and we'll show you how it's done. Hey, come on, Fats, Mitzi, Beach Bear, Duke. Let's play the name game.
Hey, Duke, you're smart and don't know it. Okay, I'll give it away. What goes round and around and around?
Sound like a mixture of like Jasper, but it's like some people when I uploaded the demo years ago, people thought that they heard a bit of Jasper when Billy Bob did the song "Let's Do the Twist." Because they thought they heard a bit like Jasper vocals when Bob was singing, but it's kind of hard to say. So it sounds like Jasper, but it's not more like that. It's not more like this voice right here. It's he got the more country twang to it, basically. Yeah, exactly. Without the country twang to it. Yeah. And you don't have that country twang to the voice. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. There you go. Point that out there. You see? Yeah. Country without the country twang.
Gollies, Looney Bird, I'm so proud to be part of this tribute to America's working men.
I like how every photo is literally just full body, cosmetics being melted, endoskeleton.
And women?
Yeah! And you know what? I'll give credit where credit's due. They at least sounded closer to Billy Bob than when they had random employees voice him for birthday parties.
You guys have very happy birthdays, and I'm gonna get Birthday Bird and the rest of Fats in the game. I'll be back.
Whoever that little kid was, he was such a savage. He let Billy Bob finish.
Voice him for birthday parties.
You guys have very happy birthdays, and I'm gonna get Birthday Bird and the rest of Fats in the game. I'll be back.
Yeah.
That little kid is such a savage. Whoever that kid was, that kid just yelled at Billy Bob for no reason. Billy Bob was going on the excitement settings, and then this kid just yells at him. That was, god damn.
That is all the information I was able to independently verify, so unfortunately now we're going to have to do some speculating. On center stage, for simplicity's sake, we'll start at Duke LaRue and work our way across. According to most sources, during this era, Duke LaRue was voiced by performer Gene Wygant. Now, Gene's rendition of Duke, much like most of the other voice actors in this era, comes across rather forced, but this one is much more noticeable because Showbiz Pizza really tried to replicate the more natural stutter that the original Duke LaRue had. So they made him stutter literally every time he spoke, which comes across so unnaturally. Here is Duke LaRue performed by Duke Geppetto versus Gene Wygant side by side.
That's right, Fats. And we're going to sing a song by, what you going to sing, Duke? Go ahead, spit it out. I'm going to sing a medley of songs.
It's really
Spit it out,
really real, you know?
And assuming we're speaking of the same Gene Wygant, he went on to have a very successful career on stage and screen, starring in many famous Broadway shows such as Wicked or Come From Away. So I guess he was destined for more than a corporate voice acting gig. Fats Geronimo possibly stands out as one of the most jarring voice changes in my opinion. Sources seem to point to someone named Mark Brink voicing Fats during this era, but once again, it's very convoluted and confusing because some characters had two voice actors. But nevertheless, assuming Mark Brink is behind the voice during most of these corporate show tapes, I think you'll notice a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the keyboard of the future, the Tune Machine.
It's called the Magical Musical Time Machine. And if you'll allow me, I'll tell you how it works.
Wait, hold up. Time Machine? I will not stand for this Tune Machine erasure. Okay, to be fair, it seems like the Time Machine show tape actually came before the Tune Machine show tape, but never mind. It really seems like nobody was ever going to be able to mimic that deep, iconic voice that Bert Wilson gave Fats, so anyone doing their best impression of it just didn't live up to our character's expectations. Mitzi Mozzarella is another character who had two different voice actors during this time period, one for the History of Rock and Roll demo and one for the rest of the corporate show tapes. It's claimed that in the 1986 demo, Mitzi was voiced by Carlisa Burleson, who would later go on to lend her voice to Helen Henney for many years, which seems to check out knowing now that Chuck E. Cheese staple Bob West also helped out on this demo. And for whatever reason, Carlisa was then replaced by Lorraine Denham for the rest of the corporate show tapes. But here are Shalisa, Carlisa, and Lorraine's portrayals of Mitzi back to back to back. Close your eyes and see if you can hear the difference.
Spirit Halloween has everything you can imagine for Halloween. From classic characters to legendary icons. You can find the perfect costume and accessories for the whole family.
Oh, and don't forget about all the neat girl groups, you know, my boyfriend's back, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
The best tip I got all week was not to play cards with anyone whose first name is a city.
Last but certainly not least, what's the word? Looney Bird. According to all sources I found, Looney Bird was voiced by then Executive Vice President and Creative Director of Creative Presentations, Inc., Mr. Frank Goggin. Creative Presentations worked very closely with Showbiz Pizza during this era, providing a lot of the Rockfire retrofits, so it seems incredibly likely that they would work with someone within Creative Presentations and hire in-house like they did with Joe Conti. And of course, here's what the corporate Looney Bird sounded like compared to Aaron Fector.
Nah, I gotta go off and figure out some super devo procedure to remember people's names.
Oh, hey, Billy Bob. Look at Mitzi. She's asleep on her feet.
Now, you might notice that I skipped over Beach Bear, and that's because there is no information regarding who voiced Beach Bear during this corporate era. But based on Showbiz Pizza consistently casting people they already had on their payroll to do these voices, I can only hope that they kept the tradition of Beach Bear alive by giving the role to a very talented audio engineer.
How about 19 apathetic old men with a marked propensity toward procrastination and sloth?
Well, it sounds like you're buying into this work thing pretty heavy. Well, man, it's like they're always after you to keep your shoulder to the wheel.
Yeah. And that truly does mark the end of the history of animatronic voice actors. For the Rockafire explosion, at least. There are so many other voices and characters that would come post-concept unification, but that will have to wait until part 2.
What?
Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and big thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. You can go sign up for free over at rocketmoney.com/Sully. And for members, I have uploaded a video that I made exclusively for the 6th annual Billy Bob's Wonderland convention in West Virginia. It covers a lot of the same stuff we talked about in this video, which may leave you wondering, why would I pay to see that? I don't know. Memberships start at 99 cents a month, and they sincerely help me continue to create content for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, be kind to one another, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!
That was a fun video.
Hello everyone, this is Sully.
Now, before we play What You Asked Demonic, and I still gotta play your little birthday show too, since it is time for the annual torture for Deshaun, since somebody decided to text during the stream. I have to play the forbidden thing on here. For you, Deshaun, it's for you. I'm going to play Gulliver's Show.
Which one?
Howdy, folks. Hold on. Verse 17, 16. Not fucking play this one. Well, Deshaun, you know the rules. Alright, folks. Sit back for the next 17 minutes while we play the Gulliver's Hard Luck Bears Show.
Which one?
Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Hard Luck Bears Hoedown Show. Before we start the show, I have a few safety announcements. The theater is a no-smoking area, and we request you do not consume food or drink while the show is taking place. Our entertainer, Billy Joe, will request names during the show, so please join in the fun. Now, folks, put your hands together and welcome your master of ceremonies, the one and only Billy Bob Bear.
Hi all, I'm Billy Bob, and this is my sidekick, Looney Bird. Say hello, Looney.
Hello, Looney.
No, say hello to the people, Looney.
Hello to the people, Looney.
Oh, I mean say, oh, never mind. I'll just introduce the band. On drums, we have our very own royalty. Thank you. Now to see y'all. Next, we have the king of the keyboards, Tats. How y'all doing? On lead guitar, here is the star of the surfers, Bleach Bird. Now, folks, y'all looking real cool. And front of the band is our very own songbird, the delightful Mitzi.
Why, thank you much, Billy. Now I think we should sing some to get everyone in a shindig party mood. Join it, our very own Billy Joe can maybe persuade some of you lovely folks to do some dancing. Will you do that? Oh, gee, well, here we go. I'm sure you all know this one, so feel free to clap your hands and stamp your feet and sing along with us.
Johnny be good on his first guitar. Ready we go. Build it Now that you're all warmed up, it's time for some dancing. Is everybody ready out there?
A little bit more dancing, baby. Just want a little more dancing.
What's that noise? That sounds like Bob. Hey, Bob. Wake up. Come on, wake up. Jim, why don't you play some drums? That should do it. Earl, why didn't you wake Rob?
Now, how am I supposed to do that? If he's asleep, so am I, you silly bird.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that you're only a puppet.
What do you mean, only a puppet? I'll have you know I'm a very special puppet.
Now, you two behave yourselves. You were in a deep sleep, Rob. Were you having a nice dream?
I certainly was.
What was it about?
What do you mean, what was it about? You should know. It was about a wonderful place just perfect for us there.
Why don't you tell us all about it, Paul?
Oh, buzzing off the bees and the lollipop trees, we're the soldier warm company.
At the lemonade tree where the bluebird sings on the big rock candy mountain.
In the big red candy mountains, all the cats have wooden legs.
And the bulldogs have their rubber teeth, and the hens lay softball eggs.
Well, the farmer's trees are full of fruit, and the barns are full of hay.
Oh, what mountains you go where there ain't no snow?
Where the rain don't fall and the wind don't blow.
It's the big rock candy mountain.
Oh, the buzzing of the bees and the lollipop trees, near Soldier Wide Mountain.
At the lemonade tree where the bluebird sings on the big rock candy mountain.
That sounds a mighty fine place. But now I think it's time for some more dancing. What do you all think?
Well, that would be my pleasure. Cause that song is one of my favorites. So come on everyone, let's have some fun. Try it with me. Here we go. That's right. 1, 2, 3. Everybody, come on, off your feet. I'll give the lovely you show until you have a clue. If you're 5 or 82, this is something you can do. Pop it, lock it, polka dot it, country fire, hip hop it. Put your mark in the sky from side to side. Jump to the left, sticky glass. Zigzag across the floor, shuffle and diagonal. When you run, skip and lock it in. 1 foot in, 180, flip it down. Zigzag, step aside, lean it left, right, 3 times, shake it out, hip to toe. Throw it all together, that's how we roll. And then hold down, roll down, to the hold down, roll down, to the hold down, roll down. Throw it all together, that's how we roll. Yeehaw! You're doing mighty fine. I think we can do it one more time. Are you ready? We're gonna go in with a zigzag. Woo! A zigzag across the floor, shuffle in diagonal. When the drums get and drum your hips. 1 foot in, 180, flip it. A zigzag, step right. Lean it left, right, 3 times, shake it out, make the drum. Throw it on, baby, that's how we roll. To the hold down, roll down, to the hold down, roll down, to the hold down, roll down. Throw it on, get that's how we roll.
Hey everyone! I just had a brilliant thought. Why don't some of the children join us in the next song with instruments? Say Palms and Bells. And Billy Joe can give them out, and I will explain what to do. Is that okay, Billy Joe? I think it is. You like to do that? Okay, this is what to do. We are going to sing a song about a runaway train. And when you hear the word train, everybody go choo-choo. When you hear blue, you sound a horse. When you hear the word bell, and you shake your bells. Okay, let's have a practice. When you hear the word blue, I want you to say blue. And then when you hear the word bells, you need to shake your bells. Ready?
Train down the track, she blew. The runaway train down the track, she blew. The runaway train down the track, whistle on the truck, she blew, 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 blew. The heart said he rang the bell, she blew. She blew. The heart said he rang the bell, she blew. She blew. The barber said he rang the bell. The engineer said he as well. She blew, 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 blew. Okay, then, folks, you need to be a little bit louder with your horns and your bells. Don't forget to rock your horns and ring your bells. It's time with the music. Everybody ready? Here we go. The runaway train went over the hill and she flew. The runaway train went over the hill and she flew. The runaway train went over the hill and last year she going still. She flew, 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 flew. That was the best our third floor of art. What do you think of that? Yep, I think you are right. Now, it's time for one more hold down. Here's the two shindig dance. Okay, folks, you all know some of the steps. If not, just follow Billy Joe. It's time to begin now. Count it in. 5,
6, 7, 8.
My boots getting baby and driving me crazy. My obsession from a western, dance for a day. My rodeo, Romeo, cowboy got from Leicester. Wanna make you mine, gonna get in line. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Snapping hands, jumping, kick, bumping, music, thumping, beat, hit your heel, toe, cross, jumping, dance, jumping, kick, turning, line, spin, jumping, stomping, bumping, jumping, starting, line, here we go.
Boots to baby, it's time. Raising my obsession from the western, dance for a day. Rodeo, Romeo, cowboy got from Mexico. Make you mine, gonna get in line. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Drums bang, steel twang, drums at the empty bang. All the problems, some for walling, blood cutting, cowboys running, burning, yearning, blinding, grinding. Let's begin the dance again.
Thanksgiving baby and driving me crazy. My obsession from a western, I dance for days.
My rodeo, Romeo, cowboy got from Mexico. Make you mine, gonna get in line. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Whoa, I think you're all really enjoying that, so don't you agree, Billy Joe?
I would enjoy that. Yeah.
Bye-bye, folks. Take care now.
Bye-bye. Be good.
Y'all come back and see us real soon now. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's been nice to see y'all. Likewise, man. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Great picture. Bye now. Go back here.
It was great having you all here with us today. You were the best audience ever. Now, please, clear off. You know the drill. Round with the belongings, take small children by the hand, move the noble fashion towards the exit. No pushing. Once again, thank you for coming. Goodbye. See you soon. Arrivederci. See you later. Adios. Farewell. Ciao. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Ta-ta. Cheerio. Hey, I'm out of here. Come on.
At U-Haul, we know every family moves at their own pace.
Hi, Mom.
It's starting to snow. That's why we have U-Box. We can store it or ship it.
Thanks, you've been lifesavers.
How and when you want it. Reserve today at uhaul.com.
Moving? Spectrum makes it simple.
with the most reliable fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Set up your internet in...
The theater is a no-smoking area, and we request you do not consume food or drink while the show is taking place. Our entertainer-opinion show will require pets during the show, so please join in the fun. Now, folks, put your hands together and welcome your master of ceremony, the one and only Billy Bob.
No, I was just kidding. I'm not doing that. Just 1 second. I made a call doing this. I mean, I could, Deshaun. Could. Could do an encore, would be nice, but yeah, that ending was I guess pretty long. Let me finish this. I know he didn't. I know you did not just delete that story.
What story?
You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go on, I'm listening.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Listening?
Yeah. That's what you gotta say.
1, 2, get ready, go!
Well, guess what? Pay attention to the screen here because I got something to play for you. Nope.
One, two, get ready, go! My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. You are as sweet as candy. You are my sugar dandy. Whoa, my boy lollipop, don't you ever leave me.
Okay, so let's get on with the other thing I was trying to do. Alright. So... I'll get those photos close up after. Alright, so... Shows here that, shoot. The Gamatica Abyss has posted... Hold on, I gotta do this right. There we go. That he posts on his community page about this brand new video done by Dexter White. And of course, I'm just gonna go skip to the part about 2:24:22. I guess it's about
Instant classics and the
I mean, I can watch this on my own free time, but I'm gonna go to the part that you say to go at, because I feel like this is gonna be more of the yapping part and stuff. So 24:22. So I'm gonna talk about this by the 24 mark.
Andrew, who's the director of the Radiance team, undoubtedly one of, if not the most well-known FNAF team ever created. Before we get into it, I want to make it clear that even though I just mentioned Jonachrome and Blackout, Nocturna, Andrew is nowhere near as disgusting as these people are. Not even close. That was not a comparison, it was just an example of holding people accountable. Now, let's continue. Recently, Andrew's girlfriend Wendy has released a GoFundMe.
Oh, golly. It's your video that you mentioned.
By the name of Andrew hospitalized by abusive parents, now homeless. Instead of paraphrasing anything the GoFundMe says, I'm just going to read it out to you. 2 nights ago, as this is being written, my boyfriend Andrew and I became homeless after he was assaulted and beaten by his parents. Andrew spent the day in the emergency room. Later that night, Andrew was discharged and we had to roam the streets looking for a place to stay. We currently have nowhere safe or permanent to go. This was not the first time Andrew's parents acted aggressively toward him. Twice before, they've assaulted him and thrown us out of the house for short periods of time before eventually letting us return. Each time the situation has gotten progressively worse. The previous time we were kicked out, I experienced a stress-induced seizure and was sent to the hospital. After this happened, for my safety, we were forced to move back in until we found somewhere to go. Now, this final time, Andrew's parents and their friend overpowered him, beat him, and threw us out. Andrew was not the aggressor in this situation and never threatened or attempted to hurt anyone. Not only did they throw Andrew out, they took his personal belongings as well. They destroyed thousands of dollars worth of collectibles, some irreplaceable. They are now suing Andrew with a frivolous lawsuit, claiming that he is mentally ill and has the intent to harm others / himself. This has all been an attempt to drain him financially and make his living situation worse. Right now, Andrew does not have access to any of his accounts, his phone, his computer, or his car. Andrew is a game developer and the director of operations and founder of the Radiance team. Radiance is known for Five Nights at Treasure Islands and a number of other well-known projects in the Five Nights at Freddy's fan community. Due to being refused access, we cannot reach out for help through his accounts. On top of this, his parents are actively using his phone to spy on his accounts and will not give him the information for his relatives, therapist, bank accounts, etc. We are asking for donations to help us find safety and stability while we recover and rebuild a life on our own. Donations will go toward temporary housing and rent, food and basic necessities, transportation costs, legal expenses, replacing essential belongings. This would be everything we need to find a safe place to live, protect ourselves legally, and begin getting back on our feet. If you could donate, it would mean the world to us. If you are unable to donate, sharing this fundraiser would also help tremendously. Thank you for reading, Wendy and Andrew. Now, reading this at face value sounds terrible, and when I first heard about this, my first thought was to make this section of the video to signal boost this so people could donate. However, after looking into it a bit more, there's a lot more to this story than first meets the eye. Not only do I believe that Andrew and Wendy are unintentionally lying to our community to get us to donate $10,000 to them, but there also seems to be some underlying degeneracy around Andrew as well that has come to my attention, and I think it should be made public. Let's begin by breaking down some of the claims in this GoFundMe that really just don't seem to make
so
much.
Where was your part at? Unless you get mentioned. Where at? I didn't look into this video myself, actually. Wait, is that your video? It looked like... No, that's not your... That look like... No, that's not your thumbnail. Yeah, it almost look like your thumbnail. I could be wrong though. A little before? Oh, that is yours? Okay, so yeah, I gotta check the video out myself to look at it. Cause I'm waiting for your part to come up. Unless okay. Yeah, I'll have to so give me the whole okay. I think I understand the whole context behind that now. So it was about your previous video that you made a few days ago about the creator and stuff. So basically, okay, I have to watch that to get more insights of it. Interesting. It makes it like to me it now makes sense. So but what I am gonna do for you is gonna get you this. Oh, 3:30, 30. Let's stop saying that. I'm gonna go back to it. So towards the end of the video, got mad. Oh my god.
They are adults. Even enough for 2 months' rent would give them plenty of time to get full-time jobs. Oh yes, and once again they list a legal expense. But they are lying to you as there was never a lawsuit filed. Coming back to this as well, Andrew has actually stated that both he and Wendy have part-time jobs. A small commentary YouTuber by
there you are. There's the boy.
The name of Demonic Abyss has made 2 videos about this situation at the
Okay, I think I saw this one. I didn't see the other one with the piss bottle. I didn't see that one.
time of me writing this. On one of the videos he made about Andrew, Andrew's stepfather left a comment on the video reading, "It wasn't a lawsuit. It was PFA paperwork. Because there was a lot said by them, it was to protect my house and family. Not to mention the swatting 2 different times in the middle of the night that I had an AR laser pointed at my head. $500 a month. One was paying, the other was not. And he can get his belongings whenever he wants. Just the stuff we paid for, he's not getting. But here's the thing. The only thing he begged for is his cell phone I pay for. It's a wake-up lesson that went too far. Asked him to leave, and he didn't like that. Then got in his mother's face and self-defense.
That's crazy. Like I said, I'm gonna look into those videos, man. But let me go back to my screen real quick. I do want to do this for you. It's probably the last thing I'm gonna do tonight, because I do unfortunately, got work in the morning. So what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna play your birthday show, and not just any birthday show. I'm gonna play to you the greatest birthday show of all time. Yeah, then I gotta tell myself I can't stop staying up late either, cause I gotta work for 7, so I can't be up too late. But I got clothes drying, but I'm gonna just get those in the morning when I just get up. So I'm trying to stay up too much tonight, cause I passed my alarm then. So, but yeah, at least 10:30 at the most. I'm trying to wind it down a bit. So I just have a bad habit of staying up so late and all. So especially working early and stuff. So, but it's been not a long day, but it's just been a day. So before we exit on out of here, I'm gonna play this lovely birthday song for Demonic. Today is his birthday again. Here it is, done by the Rockfire Explosion. Sal's birthday.
Okay, here, see this circle? Stand in this circle here. Okay, face the microphone, and go ahead and say your story.
We're having a birthday party. Today is a special one. And having a birthday party is a lot of fun. So
Light up the candles, one for every year that's gone. We'll sing a song for you, and we're hoping your birthday wish comes true. You're gonna get lots of presents. You're gonna get a spanking too. We're giving you one to grow on, and it's just for you.
Yeah, it's just for you.
It's time to celebrate. Another year has gone. Have a happy birthday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're having a birthday party. Today is a special one. And having a birthday party is a lot of fun. So let's light up a candle, one for every year that's gone. And have a happy birthday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Two little monkeys jumping on a bed. Having a birthday. One fell off and bumped his head. Having a birthday. Went to the doctor and here's what he said. Having a birthday. No more little monkeys jumping on the bed. So light up the candles, one for every year that's gone.